What's up guys, this is Yoshi from Neverwinter Uncensored, and in this video I'd like to talk a bit about Astral Diamond farming in Module 13. Astral Diamonds, for those that don't know, or simply ADs, are probably the game's main currency, and having a lot will directly help you to progress. You can exchange ADs for Zen or buy stuff on the auction house with them, just to name a few examples. And we had this article on the blog the other day where we listed all current viable ways of making Astral Diamonds. So if you just, like to know your options, make sure to check this one out. I'm going to link it in the description below. But for this video, I'd like to put things into perspective a little bit and give you guys more of a specific advice on how to farm for Astral Diamonds depending on what type of player you are. Because some methods are only viable or decent if you match certain criteria, like really being an endgame player or at least being able to log in every day. So basically your level of activity can alter what you should be doing by quite a lot. And I'd like to differentiate between active, casual and hardcore players. Now, the term active just means that you are able to pretty much log in on a daily basis, even if that's only for 30 minutes or something. The stuff you can do as quote-unquote active player doesn't necessarily require a lot of time but continuity. In contrast, casual or hardcore is related to the actual time that you can spend in the game on any given day. Alright, so let's start with the active player category. As mentioned, the main advantage of these methods is that you don't actually need to invest as much time on a daily basis, but it is very important that you log in daily and perform certain tasks. Otherwise, these methods lose a lot, if not all, of their effectiveness. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is leadership. Leadership is a profession that at level 21 starts to produce different kinds of bags and coffers that consist of refining points. The RPs that drops from the bags are unbound and can be sold on the auction house. The tasks usually take 8 to 16 hours, which means all you have to do is start them once or twice per day. Now, maintaining leadership tasks is not a big deal, but getting to level 21 is. It literally takes months. So this is something you gradually work towards and profit much later. Another thing you can do is set up VIP accounts. The only purpose of those accounts is to sub to VIP, claim the daily enchanted key and sell lockbox drops on the auction house. The ADs you are going to make actually covers the cost of the subscription itself and a little extra, which you then can transfer to your main account. It's not technically forbidden by the terms of service to do multi-accounting, but be warned that there are known cases of players getting banned for exploiting VIP farms. It's a little weird state as always, because nobody knows what an accepted amount of accounts is, and the devs are unlikely to comment on that. But the cases we know of had north of 50 accounts that they farm daily, so I think these are really extreme cases and I wouldn't be too concerned about it. The best way to farm Astral Diamonds for casual players is through rough Astral Diamonds. Rough ADs can be earned by any player with any item level and experience, and then refined into real Astral Diamonds up until a daily limit. It serves as baseline for how much ADs you can earn per day. There are two main ways of accumulating rough Astral Diamonds on characters. The first one is running the available random queues. The easier queues are a must, but depending on your item level, you might not be able to get through the more difficult ones fast enough to make it worth. For AD farming purposes, it for example hardly makes sense to play through Fangbreaker Island or Master Spell Plague. What most players do is form a team and abandon the queue if they get drawn into certain longer content. Combine the random queues with so-called salvage runs, which are additional runs through the fastest available dungeons like Temple of the Spider to just get salvage from end chests, and you should have no trouble getting to the refining cap. Of course, hardcore players can also farm rough Astral Diamonds, but if you've got a little bit more time at your hands, I'd strongly recommend looking into Explorer's Charts farming instead. You need to be in a guild and farm guild marks, ideally on multiple characters even. We have a guide up that lists all ways of getting guild marks, so I'm not going to go over that again, but just hand out the link in the description below. With the guild marks, you want to buy Explorer's cases, farm masterwork resources and sell them on the auction house. Double events play a crucial role in the process because chaining them can really multiply your earnings. A very basic example is farm influence on a double influence event, trade it for guild marks on double guild marks, and then farm Explorer's charts during double professions. Also, your guild should have the Explorer's Guild Boon structure, which lets you access the Guild Boon Treasure Hunter that doubles the resources you get from Masterwork nodes. This process of getting guild marks and then farming charts during double professions takes a while and also requires substantial and continued daily farming. It's definitely worth it though, and one of the best current ways of making Astral Diamonds, but you need to put in the effort. The only ones that probably make more ADs than those that farm the Explorer's charts are the Master Crafters that buy the resources from them. Masterwork profession profit margins are off the charts. There are people that literally make millions of ADs per day just by crafting and selling Masterwork products. The competition at the top is fierce, however, and unless you set up some spreadsheets and know what items net you the most profit, you have no shot at competing. Masterwork professions are not exactly easy to understand, and knowing the cost of recipes and how to get the resources the cheapest is crucial. Additionally, you can't just start crafting. The way to the current Masterwork 5 recipes requires millions of ADs. It's truly a system for the rich to get richer. So this is really something you want to start looking into when you've already farmed substantial Astral Diamonds and are looking for even more profit. But if you make it to the top, there's a decent chance you'll get your investment back and are going to make much more. To conclude this video, let's quickly summarize what we've been talking about. So, as active player, make sure to level leadership and set up some VIP farm accounts. Casuals can do random queues and salvage runs and refine their rough Astral Diamonds. And the hardcore population should look into farming Explorer's charts and ultimately think about getting involved into Masterwork professions as crafters. This wraps up our video about current ways of farming Astral Diamonds in Module 13. I hope you enjoyed it and see you guys next time. Don't watch your wish and count down many